Hello and welcome to the FreePixel channel. My name is Jacob and this is AI the Somnium files. Last time we left off, Iris and Ota got killed. Now we're at the murder scene. So let's start the investigation. The inspector is doing his duty as usual.
No, nothing so far.
This Ota's blood? An evidence marker. It's a little marker that's put on up to track evidence at the scene.
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
There's nothing particularly suspicious. The wooden box on the shelf. It's empty. There's a cardboard box on the floor. There's nothing in it. The hook is hanging from the ceiling crane. Forklift. Don't see anything suspicious about it. Iris and Ota were sliced into by this ice cutting machine. Iris and Ota.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
Ice cutting machine.
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Right, about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Maybe Ota was trying to help Iris, jumping at the victim. That led to a scuffle and Ota ended up with a knife in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He was forcefully put inside the costume, then finally cut open by the ice cutting machine.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown.
Iris and Ota, the bodies are their autopsy. Their bodies aren't here anymore. Right here, Iris and Ota were. Iris and Ota's blood. I can't see the power switch behind here.
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
Forklift. The tire and floor are covered with a layer of ice.
a video camera, and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream. All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it. I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras, the same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious. Date, we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly.
I haven't
We will
checked
not find
everything
anything
yet.
of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
The video camera and the laptop used for the stream. Police officer.
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Well, packed with the cardboard boxes. Don't see any clues here. An old drum. Likely to be a clue. I mean, you don't know that? Last old drum was a clue, technically. Let me know if you find anything. I let them know. I let them know, then left the warehouse. When I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What is he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
All right. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
Yes?
Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer. Although, it's more accurate to say, killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice. One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras. They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
elden. Holographic barrier. The water of the Tokyo Bay. Police office. Police office. I are the differently labeled. The wooden box. Stacked containers. Not really stacked. It actually stacked. Not stacked, but sure with it. This is an old drum. Brain. Warehouse all in a line. Here are a fishery cold storage warehouse. Igora fishery cold storage warehouse. A bollard, a pillar to order ship, to anchor a ship, I guess. Or advanced word for anchoring. It looks grimly serious.
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust. It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
What was it?
Murder.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic.
I don't think
pain and create a feeling
much
of
a thing would
happiness.
this.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure.
He
was 12
Sure,
when
I
he took
guess.
his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
I mean, don't quite get realistic how specifically murder would bring forward that and not just horrible action to others. Sadistic behavior, in other words. But I guess it is just a game.
That, I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you. 18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out. The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes. Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them. He needed to have them, to make them his own. driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Huh.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
And the reason why there
two
were only
Cyclops
the
killers.
right
And one
eye,
of them was the former
left eye.
chairman of
I
the
don't remember
Kumakuras,
which eye
Rohan
it was
Kumakura.
the original look and which one.
Rohan
Oh.
committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means...
It was the right
Q,
eye,
tell
I
me
think.
this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that.
Yeah,
That means
yeah,
one
right.
remains. Who
By
is
the
he?
right eye
After his
specifically.
fourth murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Fuchu prison?
Yes,
What's his name?
in prison he doesn't have a name. He is simply called Number 89.
Number 89.
Right?
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
The last timeline
Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars.
didn't
neither of
know
them had
he
the
was
opportunity.
part of. We didn't know. Like, but we had talked him. Ah. And let's continue going. Place was silent. It was so quiet I felt like I could hear the floating dust. Stepped inside, but it was empty. I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It was like watching I be singing a pathetic. We read an autograph, probably from celebrity, writing on the wall on, I guess, Suka paper. You can see the kitchen area past the counter. There's a menu on top of the table. Condiments are placed on the table. Disposable chopstick. Cordless phone. Swinging door. A kid chair. Brown chair. Sitting cushion. Low table. It says good luck. Nothing but the window. Lucky cat's dead. In November, but the calendar says January. Looking closer at it, even the year is wrong. Old calendar on the... The gears have stopped turning on the clock. She's looking at the photo in her hand.
This is your fault. I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris, my boy Ota got involved.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me? I said leave!
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm not... Don't feel like going and consoling two mothers about their dead children in a row, so... Suzuki is curled up on the sofa. It looks like a small animal fighting, frightened by a predator. Large speakers. Audio equipment for an audio file. Dora Rabbit. Soft Rabbit. Gave it to Mizuki on her birthday. Mizuki's bed. Rug. Coffee table. Light. Entrance. My refrigerator. Kitchen. There are things being equipped, lying around. The pot. Frying pan. Frying pan. Seasoning. Cooking shake. I don't know. Towel is hanging. Cushion on the sofa. There is a 3-seat sofa in center of the 1-seat sofa. Backpack. Suki's favorite metal pipe. Mine and Mizuki's clothes. My clothes and Mizuki's clothes hanging on the rack. The bench press. Big window. small window gets a little bit of light. Overhood. Luke is staring at the floor.
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet. Not just in Japan, but worldwide. 3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends. It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
He certainly didn't seem so. I can't stay by her side forever.
Aiba, contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
Stayed with her for a little while, but we didn't speak. Having nothing more to say, I left. This certainly sucks. When I visited the Shago household, I found he with a hollow look in her eyes. He let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. I agreed and sat down, but after that I couldn't say a thing. The heavy silence weighed on both of us. The wooden shelf, the front door, the shoebox. There's a calendar and a strange object on the shelf. Lock. Bookshelf. The lights are off. Tableware put away. Microwave. Refrigerator. Dining table. Itome sitting on the kitchen counter. There's a door in the back of the room. The cushion. There's a drawing on the wall. Ceiling fan is spinning. Telephone in the corner.
In the language of flowers, the iris means good news and hope. When I saw the flowers this morning, I just knew something good would happen.
Iris.
For lighting. You can see the trees and sky outside. Plant. Ecosystem. The winter iris is blue. It's rising from the tree. A coffee table. There are some elementary workbooks on the table. Hitome is composed. She's hiding her sorrow deep in. She's gentle, but she doesn't show a single sign that she might break it down in front of me. She's still dignified and composed. But I can tell that she's so close to breaking, she's close to crumbling away. Like a flame slowly eating at the edge of the paper, or the whole thing catch fire. Only sitting on the sofa, must be hurt deep inside.
Oda was one of my students. I taught him in elementary school. I heard it from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words. Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together. Whether it was buying clothes, or going to the movies, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine. Then it was 2, then 3, and finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up.
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but
No, please, tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
Prison?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were younger. I visit them a few times a year. And by coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was, to visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison, in Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Prison?
Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her. But why?
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her. Dante, please, you have to catch them.
Please.
I will. Trust me.